Hello, hello, hello. What's up, LinkedIn and YouTube? It's Wednesday, so we're back for another Biz Buzz Live. On today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about when it's time to know if it's a career change moment. When is it time for you to switch careers, move to that next job? What are the benefits of moving to that next job? We're going to talk about it today. Stay tuned. What is up, everybody? I'm Chris Muzan, your financial coach, helping you get down this path of your financial life. We're back with another BizBuzz Live. Every Wednesday, we jump on BizBuzz Live here to talk about some of the industry, career, entrepreneurship conversations that maybe we're not having often. Again, as a financial coach, I always share with you, as a financial coach, having these conversations around people's money, typically when we're not talking about savings or investing, we're not talking about them getting out of debt or making sure that they're properly protected or having an estate plan in place. If we're not talking on those things, we're typically talking about their cash flow. How much comes in, how much goes out? And I will continue to stress this to everyone. Your cash flow is the biggest determining factor in all the other areas in your financial life. In all the other areas, saving, investing, getting out of debt, whatever it is, it all actually comes back to your cash flow. How much are you making? And where are you spending it? Is it all going out to liabilities? Is it all going out to expenses? Or do you have enough discretionary that it's able to move into some savings, move into some assets, build some net worth for yourself, build some wealth for yourself? So a lot of the coaching sessions that we have, and a lot of the times we're sitting down with people, we're really diving back into cash flow. And we're really looking at, well, first and foremost, how are you bringing in income? Some people are sitting at a job that they don't like and doesn't pay them enough. So why are we doing that? Some people are sitting at a job that they do like, or they've convinced themselves that they do like, they do love it. They do love the environment. They do love the people, and it's not paying them. So why are we doing that? Some people have started a small business on the side. Some people are full entrepreneurs. Some people haven't figured out the industry that they're going to be in. Some people have made it where the reverse is true, where they might not like their job, but they're making all the money that they actually said that they want. They hit the salary level that they said they want to. Most people don't hit the salary level they want to, but some people have, but they might not like their job. They might be miserable day to day. So that's what we come to talk about on these BizBuzz Lives. Let's talk about, right, what's happening in these industries, what's happening in business, what's happening in entrepreneurship, what's happening in our jobs. How are we thinking about things? How are we increasing our cash flow? What creative ways and ideas do we have? What mainstream ways and ideas do we have for bringing in more money and improving our discretionary income so that we can pay off debt faster, or so that we can save and invest more? That's what the topic of today's show is. And let's start with a quick video. This is courtesy of CNBC. I guess we gotta like give them the shout out or the tag. I'm not sure, right? But this is courtesy of CNBC. We took a small clip from this, and I want to be able to share it with you. We just posted this on our LinkedIn. Go full screen and let's see if we can listen to this.
I think the idea that you have to stay at one company for an extended period of time comes most probably from our families and our parents, because their expectation and their version of success was to stay within one company or at least within one career their entire life.
Our parents would get pensions. They would work for a company for a certain amount of time, retire, and be paid for the rest of our lives. So the incentives have shrunk. And so the loyalty is just not there.
I see a huge wave of Gen Z and millennial professionals asking themselves, is this job, is this career right for me? And what do I want for my career to look like and to feel like? And where do I find this career? Versus feeling like, hey, I have to stay doing what I've been doing in my career.
All right. So there is a little bit of insight from CNBC. I think we'll drop the full CNBC video in the description. But the question that's posed is, when is it time to move on? When is it time to jump jobs? When is it time to say, hey, is this job really fulfilling me and getting me to where I want to go? And then what options do we have and where do we choose to take it? I think this is a more prevalent conversation today. If you heard it in the video, our parents' generation, right? The boomers and before, right? They typically were sitting at a job for 30 or 40 years. That was the goal. There were pensions that were the incentive, right? There were all types of company incentives, right? The job security incentive. That was a real thing 40 years ago. That was a real thing 50 years ago. It was a real thing 30 years ago even. But for this next generation, for the Gen Zs, for the millennials, that's not realistic. The incentives, like you heard the lady say in the video, the incentives have shrunk. Less than 3% of people actually receive a pension. Less than 3% of people actually that in the workforce today actually have a pension. Something that will continue to pay them just from time served, right? From the work time served. It means 97% of people have to depend on their own savings, their own retirement. Not to mention Social Security not being there. Social Security, right? They say is going to deplete, which basically means that it's going to be a major drop in Social Security benefits within the next 10 years, 2035, 11 years. So we have to now figure out, well, what's the best opportunity for me? What's the best job for me to be able to get to my next level in life? And so that's what we're talking a little bit about today. LinkedIn happened to just have posted this. If you're watching on LinkedIn, then you get a chance to see this. Their top 50 companies. So this is LinkedIn's top companies of 2024. It's the 50 best large workplaces to grow your career. So again, this is a list put together by LinkedIn. It says here our 8th annual LinkedIn top companies list highlights the 50 best large workplaces to grow your career in the US right now. Now, there might be some bias. This is LinkedIn. So we don't know, right? And we love LinkedIn. We're here on the platform. We like engaging on the platform. But at the end of the day, you know, these companies have communicated with LinkedIn potentially, or right, there's big companies that look for their employees or, you know, look to hire people on this platform. So there may be some bias on this side. I'm not gonna negate that. However, this is a list. If you want to get to a place of career progression, if you want to have some skill development, if you want to promote, get a promotion, you want to continue to jump. I think in that CNBC video, if we watch the entire thing, there says something about there that people that typically stay at a job for, I think it was the statistic, maybe 2 years or so, and then move to the next one, their salaries increase at a faster rate than people that stay at a job for 5, 7, 10 years. Internally at a job, you're not going to be able to really make all of the promotions that you want to as quickly as you want to. However, when you gain a certain skill set and you have some skill development and you go to that job just to learn the skills and then say, hey, I've taken all the skills that I have from this job. I put that on a resume. I put that out into the workforce. I'm going to now be valued differently by different companies. I'm going to be valued differently because I have a higher skill set, because I've worked under certain people or in certain departments. So where my company that I currently work for may not value it as much to give me the $20,000 raise, the $30,000 raise, the promotion that comes with better benefits. Maybe my company doesn't value it, but that company over there, they value it. So now if I go over there, I may get the $30,000 raise. I may get better benefits. I may be able to negotiate my time off, my paid time off. I may be able to negotiate certain other perks to the job. But that's because consciously, I'm not thinking about the loyalty of this company of like, hey, let me be loyal and stay here for 10, 15 years. I'm saying, how do I gain the skill sets and get my financial life to the place where it's compensating me what I needed to by jumping jobs, by moving into different industries, by moving into different positions? So it says we're going to go through this list again, given by LinkedIn, of the best large workplaces to grow your career. If you're talking about growing your career, these could be some places to look. So number one on the list is JP Morgan Chase. Again, here's what it says. It says these were fueled by unique LinkedIn data. The methodology analyzes various facets of career progression, like promotion rates, skill development, and more among these employees of the company. So number one, they're saying JP Morgan Chase. Obviously, right? They're in the financial space. They're in financial services. So they do the commercial banking and capital markets and investment banking. You know, when you come out of school for finance, you might go work for Chase, right? You might go work for JP Morgan. Like, it is one of the notable names of large institutions and large companies that will look good on the resume. They look good on the resume. This right here that says how they invest in emerging talent says JP Morgan Chase is committed to attracting and upskilling a diverse workforce. So they have programs that you come in, you say, hey, you know what? I want to get better in these skills. I want to, have more opportunities to go off. And now you have that on your resume when you go work for that next institution, and they may just pay you a little bit more. Amazon happens to be the second company here. Now, Amazon's just huge, and they're noted as a software development company. I know people work for all different types, all different parts of Amazon, not just the worker side, working in a warehouse or delivering or being a delivery driver or anything like that. But on the engineering side, on the AI side of things, on, mobile application development, right? These types of things, being the software engineer for them. These are all areas that they say, hey, we're helping you upskill yourself in these areas. They're making people more AI ready. So think about it. If you don't know what you want to do, but AI is going to be important, artificial intelligence and machine learning is going to be important. Well, instead of going back to school, potentially, maybe you go work for a company like Amazon. You go work for a company like Amazon, and they might help you learn the skills that you need in order to get better, which then makes you more marketable when you go off to that next position. You might not be at Amazon for longer than 36 months to learn all the information that you need to learn. Amazon, it says, offers free AI skills training to anyone with a desire to learn it. That's its employees as well. So you could be getting paid by Amazon and getting the skills that you want to go off and then be able to make more money in the next job that you're in. So Amazon's one of those companies. Wells Fargo, another financial services company. They prioritize helping people get new skills. They have a career development program. These might be companies that you want to look at. Deloitte, one of the big three here, accounting firms. If you ever want to get into accounting, right, in tax law and some of these types of things, again, engineers are inside of these companies. These are just great to be on the resume. But the thing you should be thinking about, ladies and gentlemen, if you are getting a job, is how is this helping my skill set? What am I learning here that's helping me get better? Really quick, I'm going to close this so you can see me. I learned this a long time ago. There's only really 2 reasons to have a job. Some of you are learning this. Some of you might not agree with this, but I'll be curious to hear what your thoughts are. Drop some comments down in the chat. Drop some comments down here if you agree or disagree with this statement. There's only 2 reasons to actually have a job. One, you need to pay bills, right? Like you literally just don't have money to live life. You need to feed yourself. You need to put food on the table. You need to have money to pay the light bill and your rent and all those things. Like you need money to be able to live your life. That is a reason to have a job. It's hard to start a business and then feel like you need money to do things. So, number 1, you just need money. And you can be honest with yourself. Hey, I don't really have goals and dreams. I just need to pay my bills. So cool, get a job. The only other reason to have a job is that it's giving you a skill set that is going to help you in the future. You are learning something or getting around the right people that are teaching you something, getting in a network of people to help you advance moving forward. Those are the only 2 reasons to have a job. You either need it to pay your lifestyle and pay your bills right now because you got to eat and you got a cat you got to feed or whatever the case is. Or this job is giving you skills and talents. They're paying you to get skills and talents that you know you will go off and use down the line to secure your financial foundation, to get to the life that you want. There's only 2 reasons. Somehow we've settled into this place of thinking that, well, everyone is just supposed to have a job. It's not the case. Unless you just want to your life existence is, I just want to pay my bills and get by. Sure, that could be for you. But if there's things you're trying to get to, then it would behoove you to think about a job as platforms to help you get to where you want to go. Assuming you know where you want to go in life, assuming you know what type of income you want to make, assuming you understand what lifestyle you'd like to live in retirement or when you're 52, right? Assuming that, then you would use a job for those things. I remember the story of Robert Kiyosaki, wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki said that his first job, like after he was out of the military, like his first and I think his only job was working at Xerox in sales. He learned how to sell copy machines. But the only reason he did that is because he knew his goal was to be an entrepreneur. His goal was to not be his poor dad, so to speak. In the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, his poor dad was his dad that was the head of education, that always had a job and could not, right, get to the place where financially their family was in a good spot. And then his friend Mike, his dad, was the entrepreneur. He owned the land that people would build on. He had businesses and operations. So he was the rich dad. He didn't have a high education. He didn't have a high IQ. But financially, he was doing better than his dad that had a bunch of degrees. And we're seeing that happen in today's society right now. But Robert Kiyosaki's story said that the only reason he went off after the military to go get a job is because he needed to learn sales. He knew that sales was going to be something that was going to help him get to his goals and dreams. Learning how to transact, learning how to make a phone call or get some rejection or door knock or whatever he was doing, he knew that that was going to help him go off and do his thing. And then the first business he creates, to him, he said, was the Velcro wallet. Some of us are old enough or right in that age group where we had a Velcro wallet. We had the little wallet, it has the little 3 sides, right? And you just open up one side, it's all the Velcro, and then you get the other side, right? The Velcro wallet, that was Robert Kiyosaki had a business in that. He said he wouldn't have known how to go off and actually build that business if he never took the job in sales. But he knew that the job in sales at Xerox was not his goal. It was not the destiny. He was not going to be there for 10 years. He was not going to be there for 15 years and make a career out of that. He was trying to get paid to get skill sets. He was trying to get paid to get skill sets. That's what this list is. These companies are paying you to get skill sets. These are large companies, PwC, professional services. I don't even know what they do. Most common job, accounting, right? Tax accountant. Okay, got it. They're kind of with Deloitte in them, right? But they are trying to help you develop. They're trying to help you grow. United Health Group, another one, trying to help you grow, trying to help you get some skill sets to level up. Not meant for you to sit there for 20 years. That's not our era. That's not the way things are going. Our job is to make sure if you're going to switch careers, if you're going in to look at a new job or a new position, what skill set is this giving me? Who am I becoming at this job? What am I leveling up to that's going to help me in my next move, and then my next move, and then my next move? What's going to happen? See, how we think about things, ladies and gentlemen, is the most important. It's the key to us succeeding in whatever success is to you. On this call, on this show, we're talking about, right, business success, job success, career success, vocation success, right? Like, what does that look like for you in your career, your vocation, and what you choose to do for work? How do you find success in it? But this is the way it is in all areas. In all areas, we're really thinking about, how am I thinking about this? When you go and get that job, how are you thinking about this? Are you thinking about it like, man, I just need this to pay my bills, but I'm going to go off and do something on the side so that I can continue to get to my goals and dreams? Are we saying, hey, I'm taking this position so that I can learn these 3 skill sets? I'm going to work extra time. I'm going to network with the right people inside of my company. I'm going to, go above and beyond as an employee, as a staff member, not just so I can get promoted and potentially make all the money in this company, but like, what am I walking away with? After they pay me, after I've given my time to them, what am I walking away with? Am I walking away with a better skill set? Am I walking away with a better network? That's what happens when you work for some of those, the JP Morgans, the Deloittes of the world. You're going to walk away with a network of people. You're going to be able to call someone that was your coworker and be like, hey, you were really good at this when I was over there working with you. Hey, are you ready to go off and build this thing together? So you might just be at a job for the network, for what you're learning of the industry and how to network with people. It's the same reason people go to college, right? You talk about that. You go to college for the network. Sure, you can go for the education. I know. Sure, some people go for the experience. We've had a talk about college, right? We've probably, beaten a dead horse, so to speak, right? There might be other conversations to have about it. But one of the main reasons that you would go is so that you have the network. Yeah, go to Yale, go to Stanford, go to University of Penn, go to some Ivy League school. Why? Because your classmates are typically going to be successful or heading in the direction of success. And now you have access to them where you wouldn't have had that access before. Same thing at a job, ladies and gentlemen. You got to think about it the same way. Sometimes we think about it just, I just need to make some money. Skill sets. AT&T is another company. Let's round out this top 10. AT&T is a great place to grow your career, right? I like this. It says what they're looking for when they're hiring, no matter what the role. AT&T says they prioritize 3 soft skills when recruiting new talent: adaptability, a customer-centric focus, and the desire to collaborate. So, man, what if you have never been in a position to collaborate before? And now you start learning some of these skills of what it's like to collaborate with another person, with another department, how to be helpful, how to support. Right below AT&T is Verizon. Verizon's the number 8 of the top 50 of these jobs put here by LinkedIn to help you level up your skill set. Number 9 is Moderna. Moderna in the biotech side of things, whether you're in manufacturing, quality assurance, engineers, but understanding how they help you level up. Number 10 is Alphabet. That's Google's holding company. What can you learn by being an engineer with Alphabet? I'm sure you could pick up a bunch of information. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. There's a bunch of people that have worked at these businesses, worked at these companies, and then collaborated with one another to go start another company. I wish I could think of someone off the top of my head, but I can't right now. But I know there's stories of people that work together at Google, work together at Apple, work together at Amazon that said, hey, we're going to link up and we're going to go build this thing because we've taken all the knowledge, all of the skill sets. We're not learning and growing here anymore. We have things that we're passionate about, and we have a skill set and the resources to go do it. So let's go do that. Are you thinking about your job life, your career that way? Are you thinking about the skills you're getting? Or are you just thinking about what they're paying you in salary, which again is fine. But back to a financial conversation, if you're just doing it for money, then you just need the bare minimum. You just need enough to pay your bills and make sure that, you know, your rent's paid. You can eat food. Maybe you can, you know, go out once or twice a month. That's all you really need from a job. You don't need to go after the highest possible salary. If you're thinking about it like, I'm using this just to pay the bills. But we've got caught up somewhere in our society, somewhere in our mindset, somewhere in, you know, the things that have been fed to us or told to us, is that our job is supposed to take care of the life that we want. Like the job, it's their responsibility to make sure we have a good work-life balance, to make sure that we can do yoga and vacation and see our kids and make all the money that we want to and not have to be in debt. Like, apparently somewhere down the line, we thought a job was supposed to do all of those things for us. And some of these employers are like, no, that's not our responsibility. So you got to go in thinking, well, what am I here for? Two things. I need to pay my bills and make sure that I can, right, have some basic necessities, not the wants, the necessities. That's what a job is for. Or this job is giving me the skill set, the network, the resources, the talent I need to continue to level up and to continue to go off and do better things and make more money and put myself in a position where I'm eventually getting paid what I'm worth or getting paid to contribute more to the marketplace. We were taught that school might do that for you, but that doesn't play out for many people. So use the job market to do that. Use the job market to do that. Get your foot into a door, and then here's the key. Once you're in, you got to work hard. You got to network a bunch. You got to work extra hours, because that's how you pick up the new skill sets. You don't do it just by doing the bare minimum. You have to actually seek the education. You have to seek to learn new things. You have to ask proper questions. You have to be curious while you're in that position in order for you to get the most out of it, knowing that you might only be there for 18 or 36 months and then you're out to the next thing. And guess what that next role is? It's going to pay you more money, and you're going to get a new skill set because you're going to now have new roles, right? New responsibilities. It's not just going to be the same thing you've learned. You're going to now have to learn a new thing. And you might only be there for another 36 months. And then guess what else happens? Then you picked up another skill set. You added on more. And you go to the next position and they pay you even more and you have more responsibility, and you keep working your way to the platform, to the place you want to be. Ultimately knowing that is the thing that's going to make sure your financial life is in the right place. I had some of the other ones written down here. I'm not going to share them with you on the screen, but some of those other companies, of those 50 best large workplaces to work for. We got General Motors, we got Bank of America, MasterCard, Capital One, Eli Lilly, Fidelity, Comcast, Procter & Gamble, Apple, Kraft Heinz, Bristol Myers Squibb, Continental, Travelers, Honeywell, Synchrony, Pepsi, Visa, GE, Boeing, Airbus, DHL Group, American Express, basically all the big companies on the S&P, right, that are here in the States. Those are big companies, but they have training programs in place. They have systems in place. Who did I hear say this? Cody Sanchez, I think, said this, right? Oh man, I don't know. The quote's escaping me. Right? I listen to so much stuff. The quote's escaping me. But basically she was saying something along the lines of she used these multi-billion-dollar companies' processes and training systems to learn how to do it herself. She worked for big companies in the finance space, and they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on training and training systems. And if you step into that system with the thought that I'm not going to be here forever, I'm trying to learn how they run the system. How did they put this together? Why is this in place? How does this work? Then I can take that knowledge and I can go off and I can either create something myself, or I can be of better use to somebody else that maybe doesn't have those systems in place. That's the way to think about it. That's the way to think about it. I used to always say, again, my background, I came from restaurants, working for a corporate restaurant, working for the Cheesecake Factory. I got a chance to see systems in the restaurant space at right the grandest scale. Our personal restaurant back in the day was doing about $12 million a year in sales, $1 million a month in sales. Do you know the systems that have to be put in place for inventory, for reporting, for hiring, for training, for food cost, right? For all the stuff, you know what system. So then it might be easier for me to go talk to someone that has $1 million a year restaurant. They're doing $80,000 a month in sales. They have, 17 staff members. Might be easier to put some things in place because I come from a place that had 150 staff members, 200 staff members in the restaurant, right? Systems upon systems upon systems, because you move so much, you have so much sales that now I can take that information and see it on a smaller scale and say, oh, just plug it in this way. Here's how we document staff. Here's how we document inventory. Here's the days. Here's how we look at the numbers. Here's how we look at month over month. So do you walk into a job knowing that you're extracting all the knowledge, the skills that you need to go off and do what you want to do? Or are you just there to make money? Whatever it is, you got to be truthful to yourself and know, when is it time to change this career? When is it time to move jobs? When is it time to no longer have a job? Even though, ladies and gentlemen, I come and I talk to you about having a job, understand we haven't really had a job in almost 10 years, right? I believe in entrepreneurship. I believe in your ability to be more entrepreneurial, meaning have more ownership of your life. You might not be the entrepreneur, but as a good buddy of mine used to always say, but you could be the intrapreneur. You can be the number two. You might not want to be the number one at a company, meaning it's all on you, but you might want to be the number three. You might want to be the most supportive person. You still work 80 hours a week. You still put in extra time. You still don't get paid for all that you should get paid for. You still go above and beyond. But you just believe in it. You believe in that company, and then you put yourself to work inside of somebody else's company that's maybe not one of these large companies we just looked at, but maybe it's a smaller company. So you have options, but being more entrepreneurial will help you get to your financial goals faster than any job could. Faster than any job could. And I'll stick by that. You got questions on it? You let me know. We can debate it. We can talk it out. But I know that taking ownership of your life means taking ownership of your income. If you can't own your income, it's really hard to own your life. It's really hard to do all the other things you want to do. You have to have a way to say, I can bring in income. I understand how the levers of business work. And that'll help you get set up for the life that you want, ladies and gentlemen. So Another Wednesday here, BizBuzz Live, talking careers, talking industry, talking entrepreneurship, talking vocation and what you want to do for work. Today's episode, we were just talking about when is it time to change that career. You might know when it's time to change the career. Last plug for you, if you see it on the screen, download our free ebook. This month, we started dropping some ebooks. This one is on cash flow, because again, that's why we do this, is so you can increase your cash flow. There's some ideas, some I don't want to call them secrets, right? But they're just some practical things that maybe you don't know that can help you shift your mindset on going out and increasing your cash flow and bringing in more money. We're here to help you do it. Download that ebook. April's Financial Literacy Month. We want to make sure we're helping educate people in all the facets of finances, not just the ones that you're good at, but the ones that you're not good at. So until next Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.